Hi guys, welcome to my world of cigars. I thought I'd do a little video on the various accessories a cigar smoker would need. I've had a few friends of mine ask me that I'd like to take up cigar smoking rather seriously, and what accessories do I need to invest in? So, as far as cigars go, I think the first basic accessory anybody would need would be a good humidor to store the cigars in. So you have a couple of varieties. In humidors, you have some of the smaller ones, the desktop models, which would hold about 30 to 40 cigars. Convenient and a good way to start. Then you have slightly larger desktop models, which would hold about 120 cigars, and very convenient too. But this would be purely dependent on the space available and the number of cigars that you would wish to store at any given time. You, of course, have the larger cabinet humidors as you graduate and would like to store a larger number of cigars. The other important accessories that you would need would be a cutter. So there are various cutters available in the market. These are some of the cutters that I myself use and prefer. The good solid, you have a variety depending on your budget, depending on what you would like to carry. So you have the different types of cutters. This is the single blade guillotine. This is the double blade guillotine. Very effective. You also have the punch cut, which is this is something which you use to punch a hole in the cigar. I personally prefer the punch versus the cutter, since I tend to make a little mess of the cut, and if you feel that you're not confident about cutting it with a cutter, my suggestion, go ahead with a punch. So this is as far as cutting the cigar goes. Then the next, probably the most important thing. One thing I'd like to tell you, do not bite off the edge of your cigar. It's an absolute no-no. It's not about what you've seen in films, but that's not the way to do it. Use a proper cutter. Probably the most important accessory for a cigar smoker to have necessarily with him or her while smoking is a lighter. Do not borrow someone's lighter or expect somebody else to have a lighter. Carry your own lighter. Make sure it's filled with gas. And there's a variety of lighters again. You have depending on the size, the gauge of the cigar, the thickness, you would need to decide what type of a lighter would be good. I personally recommend the torch lighters, which is a quick way and convenient, and it also does not leave an aftertaste. So you have the single torch, you have the double torch lighters, you have the triple torch, and for the really big cigars, you even have a quadruple flame. So there's a variety of lighters out there. So it all would depend on the gauge of the cigar that you would smoke. So Of course, a single torch lighter would be more efficient in terms of lasting you much longer, while the quadruple flame would take some time. But a bigger gauge cigar like this, a larger gauge cigar, would probably need a quadruple torch lighter to light it quickly. You don't want to keep toasting forever. A smaller ring gauge cigar like this would probably be best served with a single torch lighter. So, these are the few things that are necessary for any cigar smoker to have. And please feel free to message me if you have any specific queries. Here's to a good cigar. Cheers.